Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen, to the StarCraft 2 World Championship Series here, coming to you live from Leipzig, Germany, as I stumble over my words as we get ready to go into the final series of the night. I think I'm all right. We are getting there. Well, I certainly can't be sure at this point. I'm Nathanius, joined by Todd and Rotterdam. Talk. You guys are more alive than I am right now.
Are we though?
We got a great matchup ahead here, SpeCial against Snute. They've met many times in the past in those very important WCS tournament as well. And it feels like SpeCial might be a little bit more in shape, but we've been counting out Snute more and more as time passes by, and that's a critical mistake to make, as I've learned.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. I've said it many times. The less we talk about Snute, the better he performs. And I actually looked up the results as well. I was like, historically, I assumed that SpeCial did well against Snute. No, Snute actually has a winning record against SpeCial. 8 against 4 in series. And I would say the last really big series they played against each other was in Valencia last year, where SpeCial finally did what no one else could. And that is knock Neep out of a WCS Circuit event. And then everybody looks at SpeCial's like, well, then I guess it's his tournament, right? And Snute's like, nah, you gotta get past me for us as well. And Snute in this matchup is definitely something special. I think everyone knows his super fame. That wasn't even on purpose. That's how long this day has been. We all know those ultra long games that this man has played against the best of the best. His long games against Innovation, his long games against Beyond. I honestly don't think there is a better Zerg when it comes to controlling ultra late game with all the spellcasters. You look at Vipers, you look at Queens, you look at Infestors, that's his bread and butter.
They already met in group stage 3 actually, and SpeCial was victorious with a 2-1 victory. Now it's going to be best of 5 though, and I'm sure both players will have learned from these games. Look at that pose, don't you love it? He's expressing himself in the most beautiful of ways.
I wish we had like we had like good poses that we would take for the opening shots here. Try to outdo SpeCial.
What would be your pose, Nate?
I don't know.
Just
give us something. What's the first?
It's just, you know what I mean? Get a little finger again. You know what I'm saying?
Cheeky.
Little cheeky. But
you know, even though they did play against each other in the group stage, I think it's safe to say that they were massive favorites to make it out of that group. That group was completed by Kaup, who is a good German Terran player, but he's not on that level, and that's no disrespect, but these are two of the very best foreigners. And yours from Australia, a good Zerg, but also not on that level. I'm sure Snute didn't lose on purpose, but at the end of the day, I think if they look at a group like that, they'd be like, well, if I lose the winner's match here, I should still make it out.
Yeah, and now the fact that they meet again, I think is pretty cool because, like I said, they've learned from these games and they will be looking to try and adapt. Sadly, we didn't really get to catch those games, so we don't know what happened.
So I want to ask then, because we've seen like a lot of variation in Terran versus Zerg, especially lately, but Snute always seems to be a player that's extremely good in the late game. As you brought up, he's very good.
Late game,
the later the late game goes, when we head into that weird late game, we usually only see on a Velo's stream, you're like, okay, well, you know what? Very few Zergs are comfortable here, but Snute, that's where he parties. Does SpeCial want to play a slow style against Snute? Do we see Mech out of SpeCial?
All alike, when he plays Mech, he has like almost no equal at this style as well. Even though I wouldn't rank SpeCial as like the guy that plays Mech, you know, in your style with 17 turrets on 2 bases. You know, he's more of a guy that will just kind of mass, not make many turrets and then do big pushes. But he can go to the late game sometimes.
I don't need turrets versus Zerg, man. Anyway,
only against
you know what? Enough. I want to fight you on this, but we're gonna introduce the players on the stage. Anna, ready to introduce our Terran versus Zerg, our final match of the night?
Yeah, I've been trying to get ready on camera, practicing my SpeCial smirk. You know, you guys been practicing too?
Yeah. Get that.
Marine Lord would say, not bad, not bad.
Thanks, I'll keep working on it. But for now, let's watch some StarCraft. We have 2 amazing players coming up. And you know, I would say let's talk about Snute, but as you guys mentioned, the best thing to do is not to talk about him. So instead, let's watch him play, and we'll watch him play against SpeCial, who we saw on stage earlier. He beat you Thermal, and of course, as we know, he is one of our best photo models. But he's also very, very good at Terran. So let's watch him face off in this TvZ. Please welcome to the stage now, SpeCial versus Snute.
A pretty epic match to wrap things up tonight. 2 of the strongest players in the foreign scene. Two players who are known for making these deep, deep runs. I love that you brought it up, that SpeCial was the man to beat Neeb in a WCS event last year. He paved the way for Snute to make it all the way to barely losing the final against a Laser, where a Laser ended up being the one player to get the championship other than Neeb. But we know that Snute is capable. We know he has what it takes. And that semifinal spot, well, that's the first step this year to getting that big championship.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at the most successful foreigner of all time. Nobody has won more money outside of Korea than Snute. At the same time, it's SpeCial. I think it's safe to say you're looking at the best non-Korean Terran in the world at the moment. Early today was kind of like maybe his crown was on the line against Thermal, but he said, nah, you know, SpeCial is still the man when it comes to foreign Terran StarCraft. It's going to be an amazing series, and I think on potential, or on the paper, this has potential to be the longest series of the day as well, because we know Snute.
Yeah, he's had some very, very long games and series in the past before. Like you refer to him as the most successful foreign player that we have. He's won over $350,000. SpeCial is around 160, I believe, so kind of half of that. But SpeCial with some good results here and there this year, he could actually catch up in one single year. Like we've seen that. We've seen $300,000 years last year for TY and Rogue. That's not impossible.
Yeah, a lot is at stake. We know that both of these players are extremely capable. We talk about how Snute is strong in the long game, but I think SpeCial, he's no stranger to that. There have been some historic, very long games that he's played out. I mean, my brain, for some reason, goes back to like WCS America. We had like crazy games against Violet that just went super late, getting into draw scenarios and all that sort of thing. He's comfortable playing the long match as well.
Absolutely. I think that SpeCial's okay with playing a patient game at first, just harassing a little bit. Also, we cannot undermine or undersell his harassment potential, right? When it comes to Hellions, Cloak Banshees, that kind of stuff, Hellbat timings. I mean, SpeCial can do it all. But he can also just sit back. But I do think that first big push that he decides to make with his mech army, that's going to be crucial. That's going to be pivotal. That's where he really needs to hurt Snute. Because if Snute can get comfortably up to his 7, 8, 9 queens and then get those other spellcasters as well, I mean, it's like the dark web of StarCraft 2. Like, not many people go there, but Snute has been there a lot. And you've seen games where the game is almost over, there are no buildings where they're supposed to be, but there's a little island of creep in the middle of the map, and that's where Snute's spellcasters are, and they're never going to die, right?
He'll just grind it out.
Yes, absolutely.
As long as it takes, whatever it takes.
He's in no rush to kill his opponents generally, Snute, and he will take things very far if necessary. Do we see either one of these players as a favorite against the next opponent? Cyril said that he wouldn't mind playing TvZ. Do we think that that's true?
I would say, like, not really, no. I would have said maybe SpeCial, like if he's really feeling the TvZ. But it's like all those answers, they're going to be answered now. Like as of now, it's hard to tell.
I don't count Snute out ever, especially not when it comes to ZVZ, but if you look at Cyril's offline ZVZ record over the last few months, the way he performed in Barcelona as well, 3-0 Laser, 4-0 Nurcho, now again 3-0 Nurcho, that I think Cyril would be a favorite against Snute, not like an overwhelming favorite, but he would be. But against SpeCial, I mean, we still see ZVT as sort of the Achilles heel of Cyril, but damn, Cyril's looked good so far today, so I don't know. I think maybe SpeCial would be a tougher opponent, but I wouldn't go as far to say that SpeCial would be the favorite over Cyril.
I feel like the way that we've seen SpeCial play, especially emulating Korean builds, I mean, we know that the mech play is really good, but also some of the ghost-heavy plays that we've seen recently, maybe he's going to mix it up. The opportunity for varieties there.
I wonder how Terran versus Zerg late game, you know, scales. Like we used to see Ravens and mass auto turrets and stuff. I guess that's kind of out of the equation for the moment. That will come back, maybe. But I think actually Snute would not be very confident against Cyril. Whatever that means, because I spoke to him before and he told me like he didn't necessarily practice as much as he does usually, because he lost a bit of motivation. He's been losing a bunch against Cyril, including I think he was the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice qualifiers, where for Europe North he was with, you know, Norway's next to Finland, as it happens, and he had to face Cyril and he lost, and only one player was going to make it, so he lost to Cyril in other couple tournaments, and maybe it's been a little bit harder, so maybe that's going to give him some fire and he'll come back super strong tomorrow if he were to qualify and face Cyril in the semifinals.
Yeah, I thought it's spot on. Also, the Intel Extreme Masters Pyeongchang, also Norway and Finland were grouped together, and that has happened a couple of times. And then it's sad because Snute is watching at 20 Europeans, of which he probably feels he's better than 15 out of those 20.
That's the one I was thinking about.
Yeah, but he doesn't even get to shine because he has to go up against Cyril before those real qualifiers start. So motivation, sure, I'm sure he's got plenty of that, but Yeah, I don't think either of them should be worried about Sero, to be honest. Sero's incredibly good, but this is a tough quarterfinal for both of them.
All right, well, it is time to get into this quarterfinal, ladies and gentlemen. A Terran versus Zerg to wrap things up tonight at the WCS Leipzig. Let's get ready for Snute versus SpeCial.
That's right, esports fans. We got ourselves another TvZ on the main stage. See who will be our last semi-finalist. Will it be this handsome fella, or will it be that handsome fella? Wardy, what do you think about this series, mate?
I think this might be the series of the day. It could go to 5 games, and each of these games could go very, very long.
Well, let's introduce our first player here. In the top left, hailing from Mexico, it's Juan Carlos Tenya Lopez, a.k.a. SpeCial. Oh, bit of a pause here from Snute. I was about to give him a really nice intro as well, but he slowed down my roll here.
He obviously heard you giving SpeCial a great intro. I just want to hear yours for him because he says he needs a bit more white noise at the moment.
Rank that white noise. Snoop Dogg.
Snoop's got a lot of fans out there.
Well earned.
To impress.
It's making fans as quickly as he made money. As mentioned, he is a very successful, prize money-wise player.
Yeah, one of the highest, right?
If not the highest non-Korean earner, I think.
Yeah, he's. I mean, he's just been dominant in StarCraft 2 for a long time, right? He's been one of the first foreigners that was very good, and still is very good. You know, 2 back-to-back finals last year in WCS. You know, he's a player you expect to be at BlizzCon. He can always compete with the top foreigners. He can take maps off of the top Koreans. I mean, it's Snute, right? He's a legend in the StarCraft 2 scene, and, well, we have SpeCial, of course, as well, who is no slouch himself, but at the same time, he hasn't had, you know, while he may have had more impressive results lately, he hasn't been around as long as Snute, and that's where the earnings do differ. I mean,
yeah, that's right. Well, times can change in StarCraft as quickly as they come, and Snute has been around for a long time, kicking butt, taking names. But it was all about SpeCial in 2017. He was Mr. Consistency, even showing us that he can make it to the round of 4 at the big show at the end of the year. Pretty sick.
I mean, that was really impressive, right? When SpeCial went to the round of 4, and obviously, okay, he got a laser in the round of 8, and he didn't take down another Korean, but a laser took down Koreans himself in the group stage to get there too. I mean, it's the most impressive result of a foreigner we've had since Neeb won Casper Cup, you know? So it really is, well, it really was a great result for him, and we are looking to get back into this in just a moment or two. This TvZ, this Terran versus, I just can't believe we're casting Snute versus SpeCial. I was really sad we didn't get to do this one in the group stages, yet here they are once again in the quarterfinals, Maynard.
Well, we're halfway through our player intros. Let's do the other half now that the game has resumed. And Catalyst will be our first battlefield between these two players. And here we go in the bottom left here, or bottom right rather, excuse me. From Team Liquid, this is Jens Willa Asgard, aka Snute. His last name is literally where the gods live. That is insane.
He said bottom left. I think he'll be in the bottom left soon because I really do see these games going long. I don't see these games being fast. These are two players who do actually love playing long. SpeCial because he likes to play that mech style. Although honestly right now, playing Bio into the Ghost Liberator is also a very powerful way to play later in the game, and I wouldn't be surprised at least if in one of these maps he does pull it out here. I mean, we've got quite an insane map pool coming up here actually, as we're going to be having Catalyst first, of course, as you can see, followed by Blackpink. What I'm really excited for is Backwater, because that's a huge map, and if those guys get going on there, we could be in for a long, long night.
SpeCial did veto Eastwatch though, making sure that, you know, he gets to at least have a few hours sleep tonight.
Yeah, that is very true. The old Violet Squares map 4, and Acid Plant is map 5, if it is needed here, as the very early openings are pretty much nothing too surprising.
So we're talking a lot about Snoot's ZVT style, how he loves that late game. I feel like from SpeCial, I'm feeling like we're going to be seeing a fair bit of mech from him, maybe a mixture of the mech and the bio, but he has been a very, very powerful, you know, one of the best non-Korean mech players, if not the best non-Korean mech player. But has been throwing in that bio style, of course, because it has been hitting the meta again in TvZ since the change to the Infestor. People that have those that multitask, that have the APM to be able to spare, like SpeCial, and he's had that since Brood War. We are actually, I have to take everything back because we are seeing something crazy from SpeCial.
Whoa, the Ghost Academy is already coming down. I don't even know where to begin with that. Does he go for like a Ghost Hellion push?
I've literally never seen this. I don't know what this is. I mean, this is looking, yeah, Hellion and Ghost is what it was looking like.
Snipe the Queens or something, like Ghost, Hellbat,
I guess.
maybe.
Snipe the Queens, yeah, makes sense.
Possibilities are actually right now not quite endless, but there's quite a few of them. What if he just makes a nuke? Can you imagine?
Oh my god.
That's probably the least likely scenario. But
I guess he just becomes my favorite Terran forever. I guess it's just as simple as that. You know, normally it's really hard to pick my favorite Terran of all time, but I think that would actually seal the deal.
Yeah, that's a pretty fast selling point. You're going to see that Ghost on its way up then. So SpeCial, bringing something special here on Catalyst. And, well, it's just, I guess, one of those things where maybe you just don't expect to need detection so early as Snute, or at least definitely not at the front. If you're expecting to fight against Hellbat, because you expect Banshees to come in a little bit later. So it's a very kind of weird sort of thing, which I guess does just abuse the time of Snute here, but he's going to get up this ramp. Oh, no!
Ooh.
The T-Bows don't raise it! That's going to be huge! He sees the Ghost!
He saw the Ghost just then, and that might be all he needs here. He's just got that link still in the main. He got all the information he could possibly want. Starts stim and cancels it. Try and look like he's going for some kind of stim timing, but he did see that Ghost.
That is absolutely huge here for Snute, because now he's going to start running through the possibilities in his head, and he's going to get everything he possibly needs up to deal with this. And it does look as though it's probably going to be one of those, I guess, Ghosts to EMP the Queen transfuses, and then Hellbats to try and take them down nice and quickly. Or just a snipe on the Queens as well. That works too. First Queen does go down, so this is still having some effect without the armory even being finished yet.
Well, it makes sense on paper, right? What is the major threat to the Hellions in the early stages? Is it a ball of Lings? Well, I mean, if there's enough Lings, sure. But it's primarily the Queens. And if the Ghost can remove them from the equation, then we're talking business here. But Snute with a massive run by.
And what a timing as well. Just as SpeCial has nothing left. He was watching for the next set of Hellions to leave. And now he's also, while he's distracted, jumping on the Hellions at the front. And this is not looking good at all right now for SpeCial, as Snute is just shutting him down.
He lost a few Hellions, still has some left over. These Ghosts are still getting their snipes on the Queens. These Lings haven't been cleaned up yet. A couple of Hellions are about to pop out of that factory, but not before about 10 SCVs go down here.
Wow, Snute's getting so much more damage. Talk about 10, that's 13, 14, 15. Snute's getting so many kills here, and the Hellions have gone back home from the other side. And so Snute is completely safe with a 20-worker lead. What a way for Snute to start their series, all coming down from that scout there earlier.
Jeez. So how's that late game looking?
Okay, yep, I'm going to take that one back. I wasn't expecting a Ghost Academy main.
I mean, no one was.
Not this early.
No one was. Yeah, I expected a Ghost Academy main, like, 15,
20 minutes from now. Yeah, but not not as the opening build orders. We're going to see Cyclones on the way out. A second factory is up, and so it's going to be a switch into mech. I wonder if the idea is just to keep building Ghosts all the way through the game.
So far, yes. Yeah. Ghosts are so expensive, though. They really, really are. They don't benefit from bio upgrades other than, you know, they get their attack upgrades and that sort of thing, but there's no engineering bay. It's just Ghosts with some Hellions and Cyclones.
Yeah, it feels very weak to something like a, like just when you get up towards that Hydra count or Roach Hydra in general, because the snipes just aren't as worthwhile on like one Roach at a time or something, right? So it's nice initially to shut down those Queens perhaps, but again, like losing one Roach to a snipe, well, by then you're on top of the Ghosts, and they're probably not sniping so much either, and very weird way to play, but very cool. I can definitely see how I could have caught Snute out, but again, should have denied that scout.
Hellions coming out the ramp again, but Snute locking him down. In true Snute fashion, he has a bajillion Queens. Might even be a bajillion and one. Three Ghost party with a handful of Hellions looking for that cluster of Lings, but Snute does escape for now.
Yeah, just Hellion Cyclone here from SpeCial obviously means he wants to stay very aggressive, and that's why I love the fact that Snute has gone into the Roach run here. A lot of players nowadays do play Ling Bane Hydra. Well, look at that, SCVs are coming. He's pulling in the boys main on.
This looks like a TVP all-in from Heart of the Swarm.
Except he has Cyclones and Hellions.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a mixture of everything we've seen in the past of StarCraft. As here he goes, Snute. Well, he does have Roaches on the way, and that's going to be a major part of his defense here. The Snipes, if they can get some sort of kind of damage onto the Queens, maybe get rid of some transfusers, I mean, that would be great. The Roaches aren't out just yet, as SpeCial is starting to make this happen. The Roaches aren't
He
yet.
is. He's losing all of his workers back at home, but he may be able to get the job done with his army anyway. Snute doesn't have the army to get it done at the moment. He is bleeding in those Roaches one at a time, but still so much SpeCial's army is still alive here.
I wonder if Snute should just give up one of these bases. I mean, he is starting to make his way through the Hellbats, and with that Link counterattack, there's not a lot of reinforcements coming through from SpeCial either. His economy is down the drain, so he really needs to just do it with this army right now. But Snute's starting to gather units together as SpeCial has to back away a little bit. The Roach numbers are gathering up, and that's the thing. Snute still has 60 workers to build units with, and that's why I think eventually he'll be able to pull through this. He is pulling a few drones into this fight, which I'm not too sure about. Oh, is he just trying to build spines towards the front?
That's a bold spine crawler, or a spore crawler rather, right there. Maybe to help out with the ghost detection. Overseer's out now. Maybe he's expecting a Banshee follow-up with this, but there is nothing coming out of no starport right now for SpeCial. Just rallying in every single thing that he's producing for his main base. He has no economy to really fall back onto. Snute's nearly on 60 drones, he's on 27 SCVs. He is as all in gets.
The upgrades are finished though for Snute, and that means he's actually starting to get rid of these units just a little bit faster with the extra damage output. And all of a sudden, you know, the Terran units are disappearing, the Cyclones are backing up, and Snute is cleaning up to take game number 1.
GG. Here we were preparing ourselves. We were like, all right, let's make sure we have our canned soup, plenty of water. It's a marathon.
I brought breakfast for tomorrow already.
That's right. I had my jammy jams on. I'm wearing my Terran pajamas. But we actually saw a really stylistic choice there from SpeCial, which looked cool. And like I said, on paper, made sense when you think about it. The Ghosts can remove the Queens from the equation, leaving an opening for the Hellions to do the rest against the drones and the Lings, which is generally what Zergs have. They even can use their snipes against the Roaches, but they only have a finite amount of energy. And I feel like that kind of thing that SpeCial goes for with that all in with the SCVs really starts to lose. You know, the wind comes out of the sails after a few minutes there.
I think the one thing that went really well for Snute throughout this game was the Zerglings. The first Zergling scouts in, that gives him a bit of a heads up. Then the first run by slow SpeCial down a lot. It means that even though these Ghosts are doing a little bit, it wasn't really enough. And then we had that run by as SpeCial pulled the boys, and that really is the point which just keeps SpeCial's reinforcements at home a bit longer. It stops the amount of reinforcements coming across the map. And from there, all of a sudden, you're in this position as Snute where you just have to defend. So even if you are losing a few units here and there, you are still pumping them out of 60 workers, right? And eventually he was able to overpower it because SpeCial just wasn't able to reinforce as he maybe would have liked to. He didn't have those extra couple of Cyclones there on time. And with how close it was, a couple of extra units might have made the difference a little bit earlier.
Indeed. Well, we'll see if SpeCial tries to do something a little bit more creative in game number 2. Maybe he's got another trick up his sleeve, or maybe he just tries and goes for ye old standard TvZ. So many people would say, I mean, Snute is actually a specialist, I would say, in this matchup. Like, he is, as much as I, in my brain, would be favoring SpeCial right now, because I just think that a lot of the momentum in the last few tournaments has really been going towards him. TvZ looks amazing. He's incredible at mech, which is at the moment, in the meta, quite strong against Zerg. Snute has always been, and still remains to this day, a ZVT master.
And I mean, what's so great about Snute's playstyle is that he plays his own playstyle and looks absolutely fantastic while doing so, to the point that other players don't even try and copy Snute because they're just like, yeah, it's too difficult.
Yeah.
But Snute's just so confident with the way he plays. He's like, yeah, I can force lane a game, and if I get that, I'm going to win. So, you know, let's have at it as we do get ready for game number 2 on Blackpink. Not, are you ready?
I am so ready, Wardy. Let's get into it. At the bottom left here, this is the Mexican Terran, SpeCial! And in the top right, from Team Liquid, currently up in the series, this is Snute.
Crowd sounds pretty ready to see some more of Snute because he's 1-0 up and he's just 2 maps away from another WCS round of 4 performance. Obviously, Cyril waits for him in the semi-finals, and Cyril is really wanting Snute, so he's probably cheering on Snute as well right now. You'll see Snute doing a very Snute thing, which is to throw down the spawning pool first. this does potentially open up a couple of kind of aggressive follow-ups with kind of a road drawn sometimes. But without the gas, it is also just looking to be a couple of lings across the map, be a bit of a nuisance early, and then just set up from there.
Yeah, a lot of options when you have that early pull. Of course, it does slow down your drones by 1 or 2, but it's no huge deal. It's very marginal. SpeCial going for a pretty regular opening as well. Just getting his gas first, going into the barracks. So it's going to have a fast factory. But it is looking like a fast expand build from SpeCial in this game. Nothing crazy.
It really, really is, as we do see that barracks about to finish up, and now Reaper should be on the way. Nice and normal, obviously, that Reaper just early game. It's just a good way to get across, double check what's going on. It can deal with a couple of Zerglings. It just gives you the information as well. Continuing on from there, if you keep it alive, boom, you get into the main base a little bit later. Maybe you do see a Rotron, maybe you see a faster lair. You also get to see the third hatchery, and whether that's going down super quickly or not. And all of that is information which, as the Terran, you will piece together just to figure out exactly what it's going to be throughout the game, as we ourselves look to see what SpeCial is going to be looking for throughout these early few minutes.
Oh, that's a very lewd observer, but we are going to concentrate on these lings now as they head across the map. They're splitting up, so the first pair of lings for Snute split up to go through popular Reaper paths. They're actually even trying to avoid the Reaper by the looks of things, going around the outside. This Reaper is going to catch the top ling. Bottom ling will get through, though, to see what's happening in the natural without dying to the Reaper.
Yeah, the way Snute's doing this, I don't think he's too bothered about delaying the CC much, and obviously SpeCial, keeping his Reaper at home, more or less, is very good at that as well. He knows that's only one of the 2 lings, so he brings it even further back, expecting it perhaps, or maybe knowing that Snute goes around 2 different ways. Snute doesn't get the information, but seeing the Reaper is already a good idea that it's a Reaper expand, and I mean, past that, there's not too much else to see if you actually get into that natural, as you will see SpeCial just dropping down the starport.
It's tough to stop the Zerg from seeing what you're up to, though. Like, even if the lings get deflected by your Reaper, there is the Overlords, and of course, Snute has those Overlords heading towards the main base of SpeCial. One's about to hit the natural, the other one going towards the main. Snute's not going for Overlord speed at the moment. He's actually pulled out of gas after getting speed, which is just vintage Snute, staple Snute. Makes you get a fast third, lots of drones, and you can have all that mineral income to make a big cluster of queens as well.
I wonder what SpeCial goes for here. Does he go for like a medevac and some drop, just straight into a Liberator to harass? Because he's actually so good with the Liberator harassment. We saw that in the TvT earlier, just how much you can use those Liberators against U-Thermal. Let's see what he does. I'm not sure. Did he build a tech lab up on the barracks for the starport? Not sure if he did. Okay, he did, and the starport's on it, but it is just going to be a medevac initially. I don't know what's a bit of an interesting Hellbat attack. I mean, usually if you have a medevac, you have a few Marines with it, just because, you know, it makes it a bit stronger and it's easy to get. But in this scenario, not going to be the case.
I say when the minerals and gas get a little bit up there, I wouldn't be surprised if this was like a Hellbat Banshee attack, or maybe he's thinking about it. And there's that cloak going down. As Hellbat and Banshee is, you know, something that was really popular in TvZ in Korea. But I mean, players like Snute have hit it once or twice before. I'm sure they can deal with it. It's all about identifying what you're up against and getting the tools to get it done. Generally, it involves a Baneling Nest or Roach Warren, depending on which way you want to go. But of course, if you go one way or the other, that's pretty much what you're stuck with for a while in the game.
You know what else defends it, Maynard?
Lots of queens.
Took away my words.
Sorry,
yes.
I took them away. You can have them back.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, I'll use them, because obviously all the queens does become a big thing as well. What SpeCial's going to try and do is maybe abuse that factor of Snute, because the queens are a little bit slow, and there is a lack of creep between the main and natural. So queens, you know, they're a little bit slow to transfer right now, and so if Hellions hit the main and morph into Hellbats and hit the third base at the same time, queens can't be everywhere at once, as we do see the Hellbats starting to morph in, but the queens are targeting down the medevac right away, and it does fall! Snute does. Looking good so far.
Yeah, solid defense. He lost those first 3 drones. Another attempted run by here, but Snute was already looking for it. The drones being pulled off the line and body block those first 2 Hellions. They do go down. And he's killed 6 Hellions and losing 6 drones. Actually, 8 Hellions.
8 Hellions go down. The medevac as well is a big part of this, because it means no further drops, no more being annoyed with those Hellions in the future, unless he commits time to building another medevac, which would be kind of a big kind of thing. You know, maybe he could, but probably he doesn't want to here. SpeCial does still have the cloak for the Banshee's finished, and so he'll come across the map, and that's something Snute is not prepared for. There's no Spore Crawler on this third base, or in the natural.
And of course, in Snute's style, his lair is quite delayed because he's been macroing so hard, which means he doesn't have the ability to make overseers either.
Yes, this is going to be a lot of trouble for Snute already. A couple of workers going down, and the numbers just going to keep on increasing. Obviously, Snute going to start putting those Spore Crawlers in each of his mineral lines, but this is finally the damage from SpeCial that he was hoping for here. He's actually got a worker lead in the game, 47-41. Snute's got a lot of army, and maybe he's just going to look to use that in a big counterattack now in the next couple of moments. He needs to do something. He has a lot of roaches out, actually. 7 roaches, but the Banshees will be still good against that too if the Queens aren't over here.
It's a massive attack here, and pretty ballsy from Snute considering Banshees are out. He has a cluster of Marines which will help out against these Lings. The SCV's already pulled to repair that wall. It's up to these Banshees to come home, both of them. He needs both of them right now to nail these roaches down before the wall gets busted.
Starting the Ravagers with the lower health roaches. They'll get healed back up, and it means they just won't get picked off as easily, which is great here. But so many Zerglings have gone down. I mean, Snute targeted down a few SCVs across the wall, and he is drawn in behind this, so his work account is starting to become okay once again. Man, if he didn't deflect that first Hellbat attack with such ease and such perfection, he really would be in a troubled position right now. But he did make the most of this. He targeted down those SCVs as they came into repair. And well, 15 worker lead. Army supplies are similar, but he is very far behind on upgrades.
Now, Snute did lose a lot. Like that army was quite expensive, all things considered, for an early game push. A lot of that, a lot of those resources we can see piling up for Snute. He's currently not trading as efficiently as SpeCial in total in this game, but like you said, like, he killed 10 workers, so it's not all bad. It's not like he's put him super far behind or anything like that.
Yeah, it definitely hasn't. It's I think it's done enough to justify him being in a playable position right now. So see the +1 missile attack and carapace coming through from Snute. His Lair's finally about to finish up as well, and this time Queens are in position on the main base because he's seen those Banshees coming. And so he's just going to have to pull a little bit close towards the Spore Crawler, but then he should be able to turn and fight and transfuse as well. Helps to get the job done, and somehow manages to save that Queen as well.
Oh, this is annoying. He's nailing those Evo chambers, and he's just starting to more of an OC it now. Can he get one of these Evo chambers before protection happens?
On the Queens to the south side, and so he was able to come forward here. And a Banshee runs out of energy, so it goes down a little bit faster than you might expect.
And a bio transition here for SpeCial. Already with Stim done. Medivacs coming down here with some fallen Marines. Snute doesn't have a ton of army, but he has these roaches wiping down here. They don't have speed, so they look clunky, especially off creep. Forcing a cancel here. Lovely pick off for SpeCial.
Yeah, very nicely done, as he is obviously playing bio at this point as well, if we haven't mentioned it. The engineering bays have been wearing for quite some time. His 1-1's about to finish up. His combat shield is really not far away. And so this bio play is well and truly underway right now. Going into the siege attacks, which obviously is a perfect way to play against the way Snute plays with a lot of roaches. As we see the infestation pit from Snute as well. And obviously with Snute, you always ask yourself, well, is it for the fast hive and ultras? Or is it to play in towards some infestors? Or maybe he's going to try and get broods right away? Because Snute really does play a vast majority, you know, a vast kind of set of styles here in the TvZ. And there's a spy coming down with the hive, so it could be a tech straight of brood wolves.
Yeah, fast hive is on the plate here for Snute, and that's just really been his ZVT is getting it done. Getting into the fast hive, getting those ultras out, getting those vipers out. This little 4 medevac hit squad with hitting on the top and hitting on the south, not finding a huge opening for SpeCial.
Those Queens were so sick. They were positioned just to the left of the main. They very narrowly got one of the medevacs. That's really nice positioning from Snute to try and just pick up on a way that SpeCial was going to try and take advantage of him. It's so difficult to play this Snute style because medevac drops are so good against it. Because what anti-air do you actually have? Well, literally Queens, and they can't be everywhere like a Mueller style used to be, or even just Hydras are so good at anti-air. So those drops are one way to abuse it, but so far Snute's not letting himself be abused.
Yeah, he's doing quite a good job at locking things down. He's up quite a bit in supply, not in workers, but he actually has a huge army supply. So it kind of looks like Snute, you know, when you have a huge army supply like this, you don't really want to sit at home in it all day, especially when you're making this many roaches. That's a fighting force right there, Woody.
Yeah, that is the issue for Snute, but at the same time, he may just want to sit back with the Hive Tech finishing. Look at that, Great Aspire starts instantly. Snute wants to go up to the Brood Lords. Now, what we're going to see here from SpeCial is probably some form of the 2-2 timing attack, where he's looking to attack as this 2-2 finishes, and before the Hive Tech of Snute really kicks in. So for Snute, this is really kind of a ticking time bomb. Can he survive until the Grey Aspire is up? Because if he can, and he gets Brood Lords out, SpeCial is not immediately going to have an answer to those.
SpeCial's going to have a lovely upgrade lead here shortly. He's going to have 2-2 bio against the 1-1 Roaches and Ravagers of Snute. They've got a couple Liberators here for SpeCial. A little bit late on that control there. Huge Queen count for Snute, takes one out before it does any damage. This one coming on in though. One Queen already positioned, but she actually looks like she's going to get lasered down.
Yeah, Snute was probably expecting that one to go there naturally. He's already moving that way, and when he comes back now, he should be able to clean that up as the Ravagers so far on the Roaches. Just doing a good job of this, and I love the fact that Snute took those rocks down earlier, the ones just to the south of where we're looking now, because it means he can get a bit of a flank on this position if he needs it, and that's obviously great for him. Otherwise, he'd be stuck kind of pushing up this one ramp he's currently corrosive filing, and that would be very difficult to fight into, as Snute's actually going to go into the middle, and he may just look to cut off reinforcements of this army because SpeCial doesn't see it, and now he will, but a little bit too late because these Marines are in trouble.
Oh, they certainly are. Lots of Queens here for transfusions, but a couple of them did get shaved off by that bio there. 3-3 on the way now for SpeCial. His reinforcements being cut off by the army of Snute, but that leaves him with a little bit of a weakness here for this fight here at the front. This hatchery is in a bit of trouble. Snute coming back, desperately trying to hold on without losing too much more. SpeCial trying to get critical damage done here. Not really finding it, though.
Snute tries to help him out by corrosive battling a few of his own roaches. SpeCial goes back onto the hatchery and he is going to get it, but that corrosive battles coming down will force SpeCial away. Snute has got the first few Broodlords up, which will be really good at pushing those tanks back. And I think what's going to happen here is that Snute's just going to re-expand. The Broods are going to push SpeCial back. And we're going to get kind of into a bit of a slower paced game for a moment or two, because SpeCial's going to need to set up against these Broods to do something right now. You know, you can't just fight this army. Obviously dropping around, though, is another great way to take advantage of what Snute is playing at the moment.
Snute looks like he's ready here, pulling his units into position with the Spore Crawler and leaving some on the low ground as well, just in case.
Yeah, he's been very good with the anti-drop, and that's what makes Snute so able to play this style, while a lot of other Zergs just won't even bother, because he is so good at being in the right place at the right time with his units to defend drops. As yeah, those Broods are a little bit alone, though. The army does come in pretty quickly afterwards, and he does force this away. SpeCial has to lift up once again, going to try and drop in towards the main base, but there's just roaches and ravagers there yet again. Snute will just cross the battle, and oh my god, he gets a full medevac.
He certainly does. Didn't have a tank in it. The Corruptor can finish it off, though. Oh.
Yeah, this one Corruptor, and that one medevac super low. There's another Spore Crawler here, and it gets it with the tank inside still. And the other medevac as well is going to go down. SpeCial is making a lot of mistakes here.
Yeah, that really sucks for SpeCial. He does, thankfully for him, have this little force of tanks at the front with a bio in front of it. And this little attack over here is doing damage as well. Snute's entire army's down here to fight this. Meanwhile, the main army of SpeCial cancels another attempt at this expansion. Snute's been chilling on 3 bases for quite a while. It feels like Snute just really needs to slow it way down and take better trades, but because he's got a Tyrannus on 4 bases going up for 5 now.
I'm very impressed that SpeCial has been able to keep on this side of the map, even though there's been Broodlords up, and that he doesn't really necessarily have a huge Viking count until now. So I think the drops, even though they were starting to get picked off with kind of full medevacs, that's never great, but they were doing their job. They were keeping Snute busy. It's allowed him to pick off the base once again. There's little things like that which are keeping SpeCial in this game, as he is on 4 bases quite happily. A 5th base is building in position as well. Snute is still running around trying to defend these drops, as SpeCial is back into the main.
Yeah, big drop in the main with a ton of Marines here. Snute's got to cover this, though. The roaches are in position. And does he have enough army supply to be able to fight back here? Oh, that medevac does get picked off again with a lot of army supply in there.
This time, though, SpeCial's not in position to take advantage of this drop being in the main by being elsewhere on the map at the same time, right? He isn't really able to push through into a base. He's not able to force a cancel, and that's what he's done so well up until now. This time, Snute's been a bit better prepared. He's pushed SpeCial out of those locations which are abusable, and now SpeCial is going to be a little bit more troubled, although, again, he's bought a lot of time to get those Vikings up, and both players are maxed out here. 15 minutes in game.
Yeah, SpeCial's going for flyer upgrades, whereas Snute's going for flyer carapace. Another medevac with a lot of army supply getting picked off. And the Corruptors and the Queens really dealing with this drop play from SpeCial. There are some Marines out, yeah, they're doing damage, but there's only 4 of them and they are quite hurt. It's not going to take too much for Snute to be able to clean this up.
Snute might lose this hatchery, but at least he got his other 4th base up at the same time, and he might even now push towards the top 4th, 5th base. One of the things about the constant pressure from SpeCial, though, is that the creep spread of Snute is not too far beyond his bases, so SpeCial has a lot of maneuverability around the map to be able to take locations and that sort of thing, and that goes a long way, as the Broodlords, though, are going to start forcing friendly fire from those siege tanks. That's why SpeCial gets into an awkward spot. What exactly does he do? I guess he brings the Vikings into play and starts to target those Broodlords down.
One of these Conquerors getting picked up before it finishes as well, so only a handful of Broodlords. Not an impressive count here, and these Vikings can easily dodge these corrosive piles. Another medevac getting picked off, a huge parasitic bomb with no splits from SpeCial. There we go, he takes a lot of damage on those Vikings though.
Yeah, that's actually huge, because now he's going to be a little bit afraid to attack in for a moment or two, because even Queens at this point could target down those Vikings. Snute is just in this position where he's still making Roach Ravager, now a melee upgrade as well. Maybe looking towards a bit of a later setup as this SCV. He's trying to be a changeling right now, trying to merge in with the army. Doesn't quite look like a Marine, though.
Ghosts on the way here for SpeCial. Some Mobius reactor upgrade going down. Big engagement here in the middle of the map. The Vikings ruling the skies.
Those tanks. Those tanks to the top side, they're in a lot of trouble. The Crows about to take down so many of them so quickly, and Snute suddenly has just demolished this army. This fight didn't look as though it was really going anywhere for a moment, but suddenly Snute just breaks through with Roach Ravager. I think SpeCial just so caught off guard by the fact that Snute was actually willing to fight there. Again, drops are still causing issues, but slowly and surely Snute is cleaning it up, and now he's going to come on in and he's going to keep pushing this because there isn't that many tanks to slow him down.
Yeah, the tank count's really been cut into here by Snute. He's continuing to press the issue. SpeCial's pulling his SCVs off the line here. SpeCial really overestimating his army when he engaged Snute off creep there. All these Marauders are putting in work. The landed Vikings trying to fight as well. I don't know if SpeCial has the count, though. He's down 70 army supply. Snute continuing to rally across. He smells blood in the water, morphing more Ravagers on the front lines. These Marauders can't get anywhere near those eggs. Snute won't let him near his babies.
Sheer number of units right now for Snute as he pushes on forwards. Has to be careful, there is still tanks here, and he's going for very much so like a killing blow rather than, okay, let's go and take down some of your economy. But maybe that's what he's going to have to do now, go back and get rid of the base here and a base there, because attacking into a defensive position for SpeCial has could be one way to throw away what is not a great army from Snute. It is just Roach Ravager here now.
The Biles should finish off this command center. SpeCial's going to find this one tough to save.
Oh yeah, he really is, and oh, Snute does have the Biles to finish it off. There's a lot more command centers on the map, though. That's one thing that SpeCial has had in this game.
Yeah,
absolute freedom until just now.
Expanding a lot, so he does have actually like a lot of foster homes for these SCVs to run off into, little refuge homes for them. And we have these Marauders and Marines, a lot of Marauders for SpeCial on the map, and he's actually even throwing in Thors to be able to deal with those Broodlords a little bit easier.
Yeah, I think the great thing for Snute right now is he knows he just killed all the Vikings, right? So he can start making Broodlords once again without them just being shot down instantly. So we are going to be seeing SpeCial. Well, he's had a moment or two to recover, and now he is back up there. The army supplies are back even after he was half the army supply of Snute just moments ago. Now looking to drop in towards the main base, and this is why I just feel as though maybe Snute should have gone towards that third base a bit faster and continued up that side to clean out a few more command centers. Maybe he doesn't realize how many bases SpeCial is really on at the moment. The SpeCial's economy is really insane.
Yeah, I don't think Snute has. He hasn't really been looking around for those bases and doing run-bys and that sort of thing. He's been locking things down back at home.
Just can't believe how many medevacs have died this game. I'm just going to have a quick check here. Wow, 14. That's a lot. There's going to be seeing the bio coming up here. And actually, Snute loses a lot of drones on this upper side base. That's Snute's fifth base still. He still hasn't got a base beyond that, so actually Snute's economy is really in a lot of trouble at the moment. Only 44 workers, but if there's one person who can play a late game with a low worker count and a large army, it is Snute. However, you generally would want a few more tech units to do that, a few more Broods, maybe a couple of Infestors, more Vipers. Snute's never been able to get there because of this constant onslaught of pressure from SpeCial.
SpeCial is maxed out, and he has basically the composition he wants here against what he's seeing from Snute. Maybe barring like not as many Vikings as he'd like to have, but Little Liberator in Sky is going to get nailed by these Corrosive Biles. Easy peasy, no problem there. SpeCial doesn't look like his army can finish this game just yet, but he is splitting off his forces, and I love this decision from SpeCial. Great strategy. Going to try and pull down to the south to pick off the hatcheries from Snute and stifle his economy even further.
Yeah, it's just something that the Broodlords are so weak against as well. Two different armies on the map. You can't send the Broodlords in two different places very quickly because they're just so slow. And oh, now SpeCial, realizing that Snute's splitting up armies, he's starting to jump on the smaller armies when he finds them, when he does outnumber. Although right now, Snute is sort of said, no, that tank just dropped into the piles.
It's a little funny to see that, but nice enough micro from SpeCial to be able to keep most of his units alive. Snute bringing more of his forces down here, yanking one of those Thors in with the Ducks from the Viper, gets that Thor picked off. Another attempt in the north for Snute to expand. SpeCial actually flies straight past it. He wants to go for the main again.
But there's not really anything in the main for Snute to defend as well. I mean, Broods are starting to get there. It looks as though SpeCial will back away. There's just not anti-air to get rid of these medevacs at the moment like there was before. There isn't a multiple set of Queens or anything. So that's really hurting. There's not even a couple of Corruptors like there's been for a while. The Viper tries to help out with the Parasitic Bomb, and actually is doing a lot of damage to that medevac. No! SpeCial loses another full medevac of units. He is, well, just losing a few more units here once again, but just the economy. He's had so many bases and so many workers for so long that he's been able to just keep throwing units at Snute, even if he is trading a bit inefficiently.
Yeah, he's trading it efficiently, but has the income to pay the bills, basically. And he's coming in here with another big stim Bioforce. This army looks pretty impressive from SpeCial. Snute's army, not so much. SpeCial pressing the issue here. Looks like another hatchery in a fair bit of trouble. Snute not breaking off enough of his units to fight this. Now comes the rest of his army, but that leaves another opening with SpeCial to deny another hatchery attempt on the north again.
Oh my god, SpeCial just is not letting up. I mean, great surround from Snute there in the end, but it took him long enough to get it. There's not too many units up here, so Snute will survive for now. But is the damage already done? Is the lack of a 5th base here finally starting to hurt Snute? Because he's out of money.
This is medevac genocide here, Wardy. I feel like a medevac dies every 10 seconds in this game.
I mean, really, I just can't believe how many medevacs have gone down. It's one of the things that actually is an issue for SpeCial. The more medevacs he loses, the less Vikings he can build because he has to replace medevac.
That's right. Bile's going down to try and DPS down this planetary. It's looking like the damage output of Snute's army is more than enough to get the job done here.
Yeah, this is going to be able to be one base down, but SpeCial still has bases to the south, so I don't think he's too worried. This fight's starting to kick off right now. Ravagers are still in the back and corrosive power down. There's not many tanks with this, which means it's just Bio against what is a lot of Roach Ravagers still pushing on through. A few more corrosive bars, but not connected on too much just yet, as SpeCial has pulled back to just try and get more reinforcements.
Ooh, Snute feels like he can maybe take this fight here well and truly off of his home ground. SpeCial has a thing or two to say about that as he steps forward, chases down these leftover Ravagers, which are really quite squishy against all this Bio with 3-3, and they are absolutely mincing what's left this army for Snute. Snute looking like maybe the steam is running out of this engine.
Yeah, this is really difficult for him. I mean, so much of this Bio is super low health. The medevacs are low health, but Snute just does not quite have enough. And SpeCial, he's got another base coming up once again. He's really just got what he needs, and Snute's still just playing this super low-tech army because of how this game went. From 10 minutes ago, SpeCial started the pressure with that 2-2 attack, and he never let up from there. Even with Broodlords coming in, he was still on Snute's side of the map. Yes, it cost him over 20 medevacs, but eventually, he kept Snute's economy low enough that now Snute's dried out all of his bases. Snute just doesn't have the units to keep on trading forever, whereas for SpeCial, it really feels as though he does. And Snute, it looks as though he's going for one last attack, as this base is being denied once more. Just a small drop here to stop the mining, but that's all it will take. The Broodlords are back in play, but is it enough? May not.
I don't think so, Wardy. This time, SpeCial's got way too much, and he takes a very convincing engagement. Broodlords be damned. The Marines are just DPSing them down, shooting them down from the ground, and SpeCial ties it up one apiece.
One away for game number 2 to go, and that's a little bit more of what we were expecting out of these two players in this series. Long 20-plus minute games as we go into a 1-1 scenario here, tied up in the quarterfinals of WCS Leipzig, our first WCS stop of 2018.
So close. Just one more day. Well, we've got one more series today to see our semifinalists, and then one more day we'll have those 2 semifinals and the grand final to see who is our first WCS champion, first player seeded to the global playoffs at the end of the year. You got to be feeling pretty good about your year if you win this one. Like, starting things off in January, already having a seat at BlizzCon, pretty big deal.
And I mean, the whole WCS points early in the year is huge as well, right? You get 3,000 for winning a WCS event. And while you're already qualified for BlizzCon, that's massive when it comes to seeding for WCS Challenger events, just seeding in future WCS events as well. It will generally get you easier brackets and help you to succeed further as well, which is always pretty nice. It really does set you up amazingly for the rest of the year. We're going to be getting into this next game in just a moment or two. We are going to be heading in towards Blackwater. This was one I'm really excited for.
This is a big map. There's a lot of space here and a lot of features that could basically lead to the potential of a longer game. I would have honestly said that about Catalyst as well, but I mean, then SpeCial dropped a Ghost Academy.
Yeah, it's really weird, that Ghost Academy. I still can't quite get over how effective it actually ended up being, even though it was Scout. Like, it was still pretty close, that game number 1. But it did go Snute's way. Unfortunately, game 2 didn't, and that's why we are 1-1 here with this nice large map to sink our teeth into for our third map to get this set up and rolling. What I'm most interested in here is, does SpeCial play Bio because of its size and because of the ability to drop? Or does he play Mech because of the size and how many bases he can take? I mean, it really does play nicely for both sets of playstyles here from a Terran's point of view.
Oh, let's get into the game here. In the bottom right of Backwater from Mexico, the highest placing non-Korean in the history of BlizzCon. This is SpeCial. And in the top left from Team Liquid, this is Snute.
I was really worried with this SCV going down to the low ground that we might be about to see some barracks across the map, but no. SpeCial is just going to build it as a wall off to his natural here early on, as it will wall off the entirety of these 3 bases, and that's just what's so amazing about this map. 3 bases super easily, and then again, just the size as well, so even if you are greedy and take those, it's very difficult to push across and punish.
There are those birds that everyone was talking about for...
yeah, I just heard them as well. I thought you were just having a little whistle into the microphone, but no.
I was having a cheeky whistle in the middle of my co-caster's speech. Yeah, sure.
I don't know, you're maybe trying to spice it up, try something new. Yeah, there's some cheeky birds on this map that just don't shut up sometimes. There they are.
There you go.
They make quite a funny sound. I don't know if that's really a bird sound, is it? I mean, I can see it being a bird, but it's not my initial bird sound.
Good old Avex. Of course, being made by famous map maker Avex, creator of a couple pretty sick maps actually. Blackpink, of course. Yeah, which a lot of people really love. I guess that is what's making this noise.
Those things?
Those things. They
are pretty weird birds.
Yeah. They look a little spiky. Ugh. They actually look kind of frightening.
That was nice of this one to fly right in the middle of the screen.
Jesus.
All right.
Not an attractive creature, whatever it is. We have SpeCial going for a Reaper expand here, but putting his first 2 production facilities at that natural ramp. Like we mentioned, or like Wardy mentioned, the add-ons are going to be on the inside, so that's wonderful if you spawn on the bottom right as a Terran. You don't want your add-ons on the outside against a Zerg because they can just pick those off with Lings very easily. And this makes him very, very safe to take those 3 bases. There is no entrance via the ground to that pocket 3rd base.
That Queen got blasted so far away by that Reaper grenade. He is going to be able to come in and protect the drones, but it took a moment or two. Snute keeping himself alive here in the early stages. I really feel like this is Snute's dream map. Large, getting the time to do whatever you want and just build up into that late game. So right now, though, he's going to lose a drone, and so this Reaper is having quite a lot of success here. So second Queen just about to pop and will help to push that away.
Feels like it's been a while since I've seen Snute lose a drone to a Reaper, but there is a little ledge here for the Reaper to be very, very annoying.
Yeah, that creep tumor as well. That'd be really nice. Keeps the Reaper alive with that little bit of a grenade. The Lings do come in to catch the kill in the end. Reaper is shut down, as we're still waiting to see what exactly is SpeCial's choice of build order opening here. You know, starport coming down, but you know, is it going to be an instant Banshee? Is it going to be the medevac once again? Where does he go with this?
Generally, you know, your structures are all next to each other, so you get your add-on on the barracks and then switch it over with the starport. But with a barracks position, it doesn't look like it's going to be the case. So it is going to be a straight-up Viking here. No tech lab, no cloak being researched. So a fusion core goes down. So SpeCial is maybe going to try and rush out Liberator range on this map.
We are seeing such a fun series between these guys. Different builds from each game so far from SpeCial. I have to say, I'm loving it. Fusion Core to really change things up here, and if it's something that Snute just doesn't see coming, then it could really hurt him.
That pocket 3rd, Wardy, now that I look at it, actually has quite a lot of dead space. There is an area for ranged Liberators, I feel like, to not really be defeatable by ground units.
Yeah, that could be pretty crazy. Snute, get the Roaches on the way, which is nice, because it means he'll have the Ravagers to be able to bile down Liberators in general. Even if it costs him a Ravager or 2 to move in towards the Liberation Zones and get in range. There's the Advanced Ballistics upgrade coming in, so sadly not a Battlecruiser rush, but indeed those ranged Liberators to get us going here. On game number 3, tied up 1-1 right now. Snute just getting his 3rd hatchery up and rolling.
Yeah, whenever we see a tech lab starport with a fusion core, we always have our fingers tied behind our backs, sort of crossed, going, please, this is one time a Battlecruiser.
Not if we're on Nate's stream, then we know what's coming.
Yeah, now and then we don't have to cross our fingers.
Viking will pick up this Overlord here on the left-hand side, and again, just nice and SpeCial so far, just controlling this large map, trying to slow down the creep with, well, the Hellions, you know, this Viking picking off Overlords just gets rid of some vision from Snute. Again, just removes the map control a little bit here, as we do see the Queens, though, continue to push this creep out quite aggressively so far.
Yeah, Snute's staple cluster of Queens is actually not really as high as expected at this moment. Yeah, they are just spreading that creep, trying to get it as spread as possible.
We've seen the couple of armies on the way up, so we're going to get confirmation of what this follow-up is going to be. We are just going to be seeing the, well, mech upgrades and mech play in general, so we are definitely in for a longer one here as Snute going across the map a little bit with a few of these Roaches. Getting a little bit aggressive, but he's droning behind it. He's putting Evos up, and well, the Hellion numbers, just with how many there is, starting to work their way through those roaches right away. And there's the ranged Liberator.
Yeah, good luck with that one, Snute.
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult as roaches still pushing forwards. And
oh, hello.
yeah, I mean, it's going to keep a Liberator at home, but he's actually going to get past. The thing is, these Hellions are just cleaned up so much already. A couple of corrosive bars, but that Liberator is already dodging away. And the Cyclone comes out just in time to clean this up.
Indeed, and the Liberator making sure that the Ravagers have to pay the ultimate price if they want to get in here as well. The Queens are technically in the range of this Liberator, and they are starting to DPS it down, but he just repositions it here, and now the Queens actually can't reach it anymore.
At the same time, of course, the Liberator can't reach the mineral line now, so the Queen should just be able to get out of there. That Queen really doesn't know how to, though. A little bit stuck on the minerals, hurting a little bit. As we're going to see this Liberator coming up to the top. And we do see roach speed all the way up right now for Snute. Plus one missile attack as well, and straight into that infestation pit once again. He
wants that roach backbone into fast hive again, Snute. Really does believe in this style.
It's going to be interesting to see the difference in him playing against like a bio last game into playing against mech this game. Because we saw kind of SpeCial playing. That's fun. Is that actually going to reach?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's cute from Snute. I love it. This Liberator, though, has also been very annoying, denying a couple of patches. What I was just going to say is that we didn't really get to see the proper mech play, especially because game one definitely wasn't standard mech. You see those Hellions going to get shut down really quickly. 4 drones combined for Liberator attacks. It's a really good shutdown out of Snute here.
Yeah, really nice defense from Snute. Oh man, a second range Liberator coming in. The other one just moving a little bit forward out of that bile range of the Ravager. Oh, never mind. Oh, damn, that was close.
Oh, he loses 2 Ravagers in the main base trying to get this other Liberator. What's happening right now is Snute is obviously minimizing worker losses by pulling away from the mineral lines, but because he's not actually getting rid of the Liberators, he's just losing so much mining time, and of course over time, that means that a follow-up attack here from SpeCial could really hurt, because his army supply is going to explode with that mountain of an incoming lead that he's now building up.
I'm actually a little concerned that SpeCial's got so many minerals right now. Like, he's not, you know, maxed or anything like that. It's certainly a lot of minerals he can use to produce things. I guess because the gas count's a little bit light, it's tough to continue to spend those minerals when you're going for mech, unless you have a bunch of reactive factories, right?
Yeah, it's
a hefty bank.
Have you seen, I mean, I would just throw down extra bases. You know, you're going to need those command. I mean, I guess he already is. He's got 2 command centers on the way.
Yeah, 1,600 still left over.
Well, there's extra factories are finished up, so extra Hellions will be on the way out soon. I'm sure it won't last too long here. As we do just see a 4th base is also built, so he's going to have extra gas income as well. This is looking great for SpeCial. Those Liberators have just bought him so much time where Snute hasn't been mining properly. So you're going to be seeing this Queen picking off this Liberator. Another Liberator at range here right now, picking away at that Queen. So you're going to see this Viking going down.
Oh, she's on energy as well. She gets taken down. A little bit annoying, but obviously not critical. Snute will get rid of these Liberators eventually. Oh, man. As he gets rid of those two more arrive towards the main. They might even park it right on the hatchery here. Oh, not too careful of that Spore Crawler, unfortunately.
It's going to be seeing the 2 spores just going out to the 2 Liberators just coming in behind this mineral line, and again, just endless kind of Liberator harassment to the point where Snute's really being punished for not already having a Spire up. I mean, just a couple of units, Corruptors or whatever, to push these away more consistently would have done the job. As we're going to see this hatchery a little bit submerged here. It is still somehow on fire.
Physics, man.
That's not physics, trust me. We're going to be seeing these Queens going down, actually, and again, Snute's just taking so much damage from these Liberators. You know, originally it was the mining time. They added drones here and there as well. Now it's so many Queens going down. Snute's not even mining properly off of this 3rd hatchery at the moment, and that is just a massive issue. SpeCial's build, he's really saved this one until the perfect time. Snute had no idea this was coming. He's struggled to deal with it since then, and SpeCial just really, a supply lead with mech. How does Snute hold this attack off?
It's kind of, even though it was bio last game on Blackpink, it's similar in the sense that SpeCial's been trading really inefficiently when you look at the resources lost, but he's been stifling the economy of Snute again. So he can afford making to trade this way.
Yeah, it's definitely very true. Snute's just trading a little bit better, but barely mining at all. Even with 75 workers, so that's the thing, right? You're like, last game Snute ended up with like 30 workers, and he was playing against 70 SpeCial. This game Snute's got the work because he's just not got any mineral patches to send them to, where they're not going to get liberated down in just a few seconds.
Meanwhile, SpeCial's is on 5 bases, and they're saturated. Oh, we've got the Vipers, and that's a juicy Blinding Cloud right there. Does he have the unit count to finish it off before the Blinding Clouds are open, though?
Right, he's going to be able to pick off these siege tanks. This was a great trade from Snute. What a way to pull it back in terms of supply.
Wow. Yeah, lovely pick off there for Snute. And he gets the map back taken back from SpeCial here. And he has Hydras in this army, so he can actually just A-move and take out things in the sky as well, which was a problem for him last game.
An A-move until he hits those siege tanks, then he has to pull back a little bit. That's the second time the series SpeCial has kind of been caught off guard, sieging the tanks late and hence stacking them up. It happened in that game in Blackpink in an engagement that really turned things around for Snute to get across the map finally to do some damage. SpeCial just needs to be a little bit careful about that. Snute is going to hit his Broodlords this game. He is getting the Ultra Plus Cavern going. And again, a trade like the last one, you mentioned it, okay, SpeCial's not been trading brilliantly, and because of that, he's had the eco to make up for it. But a trade like that was very expensive.
Indeed, it looks like a yank here for the Vipers. They're going to make things a little bit easier to defend against these ranged Liberators, which have really been annoying for Snute all game long. They just fly back out into space. Roaches and Ravagers meeting this mech army, but that is a lot of mech wardy. He moves the tanks back, and the Hellbats are actually a very nice meat shield here for SpeCial. These tanks are so clumped up, though. Very, a little bit of a weakness if the Vipers come and knock them with a bit more energy.
Well, we're going to be seeing Ravagers and Hydras up to the top side. That hatchery is still taking quite a bit of damage. As you are going to see the drones starting to pull away already. That hatchery is actually going to drop here. I think Snute's making the right choice, though. Just waiting until his Vipers are definitely ready to go. Not rushing into this before he has to. I mean, that would be one way to just lose this way too quickly. As right now, SpeCial, though, is still in this sort of siege line, which is this time spread out. This time the Vipers won't have a great time. And now Snute, he's not going to be able to mine from that base. He's basically reset to the free base, but well, SpeCial is on siege, so this is Snute's opportunity. Great blinding clouds across all of the tanks.
Yeah, fantastic coverage on those blinding clouds, and Snute looks like he has enough now. He's closed the gap, and the tanks get taken out again. Another great trade for Snute. Loses that hatchery, though, and SpeCial still on 5 bases, not losing his economy at all. He is able to remake this mech army. In fact, he's going for a big transition into the sky right now. 3 starports going down back at home. He already has the 1, churning out Vikings 2 by 2.
So many more starports on the way up here from SpeCial. Something that SpeCial has loved to do in the past is sometimes, make the Vikings deal with the Broodlords and the Vipers, but then also just make a lot of Liberators to push with those against Hydras, because especially with range, those Hydras can't necessarily get in range, and there's only so many abductors you can throw down to clean up the Liberators. As this one Liberator gets abducted back in, Spore finishes it off. Snute, well, he still has this base up here, and that's a big thing for him.
So his air units are benefiting from these double armory upgrades. Well, I mean, they're benefiting from one of those armory upgrades. They are getting the plating, making them a little bit stronger, a little bit tankier. We'll probably be seeing a switch in the ship weapons here, as this air army is going to get a lot bigger very, very soon. No add-ons on these extra few starports yet, but he is still producing quite a bit. And Snute's going into Ultralisks.
Also, there's a few more drones here. This Hellion run by, nicely done by SpeCial, just slowing down Snute's economy. 61 drones to the 80 SCV. Snute's not in a position where he wants to be replacing drones again and again. He wants to be maxing out on his army supply right now, and his army supply is pretty good in comparison to SpeCial. If you can take another good fight when SpeCial is on siege or caught unawares, you can definitely still keep trading well enough to make up for what has been. Bases being denied, drones being picked off again and again.
How do you feel about these ultras for Snute, though? Do you think they're going to do nicely against the army of SpeCial? I mean, he hasn't identified that there is a big air transition coming out here for SpeCial. I think if he did, maybe the ultras wouldn't exist, but they even against 3-3 tanks, it could be a little bit rough. But with blinding clouds, they can change a thing or two here.
Blinding clouds are coming on down, and Abductor 2 as well, but the Vipers got taken down so quickly because of those Vikings. But is there enough siege tanks right now? There's still a few left over to the right-hand side, but it feels as though there's a lot of units from Snute. Maybe just a few too many units in the sky right now for SpeCial that aren't really able to come in and be part of this, although they can go in there, and the smart service lets them land pretty quickly as those Vikings now will push them through. Snute lost a lot of drones. He lost every drone on that mineral line to the top side, and that is painful once again because his economy is taking a hit, but maybe he can do some very counterattack. Okay, I don't think I've ever really seen Hellions killing an Ultra.
Oh my god, wow. Never seen that.
Pick that off as Snute just doesn't have enough to keep on pushing in here either. Vikings did have to lift back up in the main base.
And they certainly did. They don't want to tussle with that Ultra. Now, Snute's, he tried to go for a counterattack there, but SpeCial just locked it down with those Liberators. These Hellbats are going to kill another hatchery.
The hatchery falls as a couple of Ultras will come in and clean it up. The Hellions trying to get back into Hellion mode to be able to get out, but Snute shuts it down. But again, it's 34 workers killed in recent times. Snute is almost at half the worker count of SpeCial at the moment, and he really has maybe one more fight left in him, which he has to overwhelm and then go across the map and win. And that's going to be so difficult because you cannot counterattack very quickly at all here on backward. And I think SpeCial's even realizing this. Hey, Snute, if you've got no economy, why should I keep on attacking you? If I just sit back and max out, you'll never be able to max out as fast as me, and then my army is just going to completely shut down.
Snoot's sitting in an awkward position where he's making a lot of ultras and he's investing into ultras, but there are a bajillion Liberators here with range already on the field for SpeCial, and he doesn't have that many Hydras left.
No, he really doesn't. Those Liberators, I mean, we talked about them before. They're just so good. They pick away at the Hydras before they really become part of the army. I mean, the Ultras are the only thing left right now for Snute. As they move forwards, the tank line is there, and they are just shutting them down. They have to keep running out through liberation zones as well. Snute is just bleeding units at the moment. There's just not enough for him. And SpeCial is just going to have too many as he is going to pull forwards now with the tanks. The Liberators as well getting the job done.
They certainly are. Now the trades for SpeCial looking very, very good. And he smells blood in the water. He's going for an attack. He's almost up 100 supply here. Most of it in army and workers combined. And he's gone for it here.
And we're going to be seeing these tanks continue to come through the center of the map towards the upper left-hand side. Liberators continuing to siege up from so far away. And again, Snute barely has an answer for it. Maybe those Vipers can do something with the Queens combined, but it's going to take a lot. And even if he abducts these kind of Liberators away, the tanks are then not going to be brought into the fight. And that just means it's way too much.
This push was deadly for SpeCial, and he finds himself on map point, getting that advantage. Nicely done. What a wonderful strategy choice there from SpeCial to go for those ranged Liberators. Really gave him that foothold in the early game to just take an advantage and hold it. His economy spiral under control. He was expanding like a Zerg player. He was on 5 base against a 4 base Zerg, and he managed to be upper base pretty much the entire game.
It was the same thing on Blackpink, right? He was like expanding, like it's almost like the blue of the Terran play on the minimap was the creep spread of the Zerg because it was getting everywhere. And Snute's just been contained down to 3 bases, 4 bases. You know, 4 bases and a 3rd base that can't mine. And that's been his issue. He's just not been able to set up the economy he wants. He's not been able to get into the unit composition he wants because of it. And that's where Snute is falling apart right now. SpeCial is doing a very good job of just out-expanding Snute here, keeping himself in a great spot.
Well, we're on the cusp of Game 4 here, but we're going to take a short break. When we come back, the series between Snute and SpeCial will conclude. Snute and SpeCial. Map 4 is about to begin. It's going to be on Neon Violet Square. I know it's tough to do, but predictions. What do you think is going to happen in this map?
You know, I think this might be the map where we see what I would say. I mean, I guess game 2 on Blackpink was a bit of a standard game, but I think this is a standard game, right? You don't see fusion cores. I don't think we're going to be seeing anything like that. I think we're going to see expansions, probably mech play again from SpeCial, unless he's feeling really good with going into that late game Liberator Ghost. I just want to see Snute get his late game comfortably. I just want to see him get his bases up, get his economy going. I just want to see Snute where Snute really does excel, because that's what we've not seen so far. We've not seen him comfortably get into the late game, right? We've not seen him be able to get there with the economy he needs, the creep spread he needs, with the units he needs. And that's what SpeCial is doing so good. He is literally right now, SpeCial, attacking Snute so much, he doesn't even need to defend his bases, which means he can just make as many bases as he wants, take as much of the map as he wants, and that's very hard to play against for Snute.
Breathing a room is something that's SpeCial's just not been allowing Snute to get to that hive. He's just Snute's game plan is always to get to hive while mitigating the damage, so that he is as powerful as he could possibly be in that late game. But SpeCial is making sure that when he gets to that late game, when he's on tier 3, he doesn't have the resources to make it happen. And the top left here, being dominant in the series so far, currently on match point. This is the Terran player, SpeCial. Down in the bottom right, he'll be needing your energy if you want to see him tie it up. This is Team Liquid Snute. He has the crowd here in Leipzig.
I love that this sign advances every single time we see it on the screen.
It does.
It just keeps evolving like a true Zerg. So we do see Snute will be opening here with the hatchery first. No messing around with spawning pools or any of that nonsense. As we are going to see SpeCial changing it up with the command center first for himself.
Wow. Very greedy opening here for SpeCial, but is Snute ever going to be the guy that goes for a Roach Ravager rush against a Terran?
Yeah, Snute throws in a couple of aggressive plays here and there, but if there is a time to throw in an aggressive play, probably not on Neon Violet Square. It's a super long map, and that's why SpeCial feels comfortable enough throwing down the CC, of course. What will his follow-up be here? I guess he takes a Rax. Does he go gas now? Yes, he does. So looking as though he will just go in towards the factory, which would probably take a second gas as well, sorry. And that's what he's going to do right now. Next SCV out, pops down that refinery. So just going to be going into a very similar setup to before, just with a faster command center and a better economy.
Yeah, all pretty regular here from SpeCial, but with that faster command center, obviously a few more SCVs, a bit more income, all good in the hood. Snute going for a very regular 17 Hatch, 17 gas, 17 pull back at home for him. So it's early stages CVT, not a whole lot's happening. We don't have a ton of units for a while here. So what Mupp is going to do is he's going to show us some television.
I wonder if SpeCial, what do you think about playing mech on this map because of the little blockers? I think it's super annoying.
I really don't like mech on this map. Specifically, like, there's a lot of open spaces which can be nice for Zerg, and then the parts that aren't open spaces are these little, you know, it's been called Pacheco blocks or dance floors or little squares here on the Neon Violet Square.
I like dance floors.
The tanks don't fit, so the tank's going to go around the outside, and they can sometimes the AI of the tank can derp, but of course SpeCial's a little bit too good to let his units move across the map without his attention, so I'm sure if anyone can make it happen, it would be him. We have seen Terrans this tournament try and make it happen on this map, of course, but I personally think this is quite a good Zerg map.
I still love the fact that Ultras can go through those little squares and the tanks can't.
That is...
it's something else, isn't it?
Yeah.
I actually think this is a pretty good biomap if you want to play for the later game again. It's large, you can spread yourself out, you don't have to deal with the nuisances of moving the mech around as much, although you're probably still going to play tanks. But you can definitely set up into a lot of bases with Ghost Liberator to defend, and it's also very difficult for Snute to attack, because he doesn't want to attack through those choke points, he doesn't want to attack through those squares.
No, definitely not.
So if it goes later, I guess we'll see what choice SpeCial kind of makes. We're going to see a few speedlings coming in, looking for that Reaper, and he gets the perfect surround. Lovely
surround there. Instantly taking out that Reaper. Going to get some SCVs as well now that the Reaper's here, not to defend. Elliott's only just getting started now. They're only 3/4 of the way done. Even the Mule getting picked off.
Wow.
Lovely start for Snute.
That's so cute. This is just, this is perfect with the CC just slowing down the factory ever so slightly. It just means that Snute is able to get in here and basically undo all of the work the CC first has done for SpeCial. What a way for him to get going. Those Lings, I mean, it worked for him in game 1, right? The Ling run by is what really carried Snute through to victory. And so very much so far, looking the same here in the game number 4 at the moment.
So this even slows down the Hellions from getting across the map and doing any counter-harass damage. Snute's ready for them as well. He's already going to Roach Worm. We know that Snute loves his Roach ZVT. Has made it work in the past. He's trying to do it again here on map number 4. And this position, just to the north of that creep on the right, when you're going for mech, or when you rather, you can go bio, but the main point is if you have a big line of tanks, and if the Zerg lets you get this far, this position is really tough to dig out of.
Yeah.
How do you flank that?
Yeah, I think that is what's so good about mech on this map, that if you do get across the map, you're in a great position. Getting across the map is not going to be super easily done. Since we're trying about to finish up here, as we are going to see actually 3 more overlords on the way. Is he just going to make a spam of roaches? He is starting to. He has a lot of gas left in the bank as well, so maybe Snute is just going to go and try and end this early with the early damage he's done. Maybe SpeCial cuts a couple of corners, and tell you what's not going to help. One single Raven. That's not going to do anything against this Roachling attack.
Well, Wardy here could interference matrix one of those roaches.
Can't interference matrix roaches, can you?
No.
Ah, got you there.
No.
Called out your troll. Yeah.
Called out my troll. Damn. Well,
ooh,
we were just wondering if Snute can get aggressive, and it appears that may be the case. Tons of Lings coming out here, tons of roaches already on the floor, and SpeCial's like, well, I have a bunch of Hellions. Time to make Cyclones because this unit is no good.
Yeah, the Cyclones are really not going to be doing anything. I mean, he's going to start Banshee, which is probably a better decision than swapping out for a Siege Tank by swapping the factory onto the Tech Lab. So that's probably going to work quite nicely for him, but is it going to be enough in time? Is the Banshee going to be here? Because these Roaches are already starting to arrive, and they're going to be backed up by Zerglings. The Roaches lead the charge up here right now. They will be able to start working their way through a few of those Hellbats. Snute's actually just going to go for the orbital here for a moment or so. Try and force this liftoff, which he does, and now he'll go up the ramp, but that is a few extra seconds for SpeCial to get out more units.
Certainly is, and the Cyclones are out. He's trying to get +1 attack now. Oh, Repair Drone being pumped out now for the Raven. I mean, it's trying to be useful right now to help him out, but Repair Drone does not heal as fast as the Ravagers and the Roaches do damage. SCV pull here for SpeCial, and he is starting to bleed these workers, and Snute still has plenty of units left over.
I get the feeling that single Banshee's maybe not going to be able to clean these units up fast enough, because Snute right now is taking down a lot of SCVs, and he's starting to go up this ramp. If these SCVs go into the base, I mean, they're just going to block the depot from raising, so Snute could just move on through anyways. 23 workers killed, and Snute starting up upgrades behind this, starting drones behind this. He's taking one heck of a lead, and he's just getting further ahead. That's
right. He's not rallying units across the map to try and end this game, potentially throw it away. He's taking that lead, and he's getting further ahead by droning up back at home and taking an incredible economic advantage. He is up almost 50 workers. Insane. 30 SCVs killed with that attack. A bunch of the army of SpeCial went down as well. Snute is ahead in every single regard right now.
Snute identifies a weakness, identifies an open, and just says, right then, let's go. You know, you've not been letting me get to where I want to get all game long or all series long. I'm not going to let you get there either. As going to be seeing this Banshee coming across the map. SpeCial will be moving in towards the main base to try and get some counter damage done, but this Banshee kills 20 workers to even up this worker count or get close to it. Well, I don't know why we do, may not. I really don't, because that would be some incredible Banshee micro. With Spores already up and Overseers morphing in, those Queens already chasing. I mean, it helps this Banshee what it's doing right now, but it's probably not going to be enough at all, especially if it goes down.
Which it does. And Snute still has this lovely army supply of Roaches, which he is still pumping out. And he wants to go for another counterattack with Roach speed finishing up. He can get in there and dart. There's not too many tanks out yet for SpeCial.
Yeah, there's only one at the moment, and that means that, you know, Roach Hider, okay, there's 2 now, but it just means that Roach Hider can just get on this quickly. I mean, the Hellbats aren't going to slow him down too much, and he's going to go straight on in towards this. He's going to target down the tanks, of course, because that's what's going to really deal the damage. Pure Roaches alone, though, just don't quite do it fast enough, and they take so much damage in the process, especially as they were clumped up. So it's starting to spread out a little bit more now, as he actually is going to catch a Liberator. Doesn't get the kill, but slows it down, and that low health, a Queen will pick that off before it finishes sieging now.
Once again, Snute trying to go for the Siege Tank, engaging these Hellbats here for SpeCial, just feeling like he has the numbers, and so far it's looking so good here for Snute. This Norwegian Zerg really putting the screws onto the Terran here. He is going to get that tank kill, he is going to kill a ton of Hellbats, and now he can just leave.
Yeah, he's still reinforcing as well, and that's the thing. If he keeps slowing down the Siege Tank count, you're never going to be able to stabilize the special because the tanks are what's going to allow you to stabilize. We're just going to be seeing too many Zerglings, and Snute has tied this up here. We're going to a 5th and final game of the day.
Oh, we certainly are. A lot of people predicted that this one would go down to the wire, and it seems that that is going to be the case here. And now it's become tough to predict. Snute looked pretty amazing in that game. That was dominant, just as dominant as the Windsor Special have been.
Yeah, he did a really, really good job of just saying, right, okay, how can I win this one? You know, he gets in with a few lanes, he sets special off course, and suddenly, boom, this Roach is showing up. Special didn't know about it, and Snute again did what he needed to behind it. He didn't keep streaming on in units because the Banshee might just clean everything up, a couple of Cyclones. He droned a little bit and then said, right, now I've definitely got enough to just go and attack once again. I'm safe to do so, I've got my upgrades. It's just not leaving anything to chance. And now, we have just one map between us and our final semi-finalist. It'll be Snute or Special to go up against Serral tomorrow. Whoever it is, it's going to be a great matchup, I'm sure. And the map to decide it will be Acid Plant. I kind of like this one for Terrans in a way. It's a very difficult map to engage Terran on as a Zerg. It's very difficult to get the surround or to attack from more than one direction. So we'll see what Special wants to do on this as we're already getting into the game. These guys don't want to break. These guys don't want to slow down further than we've already done. They want to get this finished. They want to go to the semi-finals.
That's right.
We're about to find out who will.
It's been a long day of StarCraft, Woody, but we are going to our last map of the day. No matter what happens, this is the last map. One of these players will continue the semis, and one of them will be excused from the tournament. In the bottom right here, with a pretty nice showing in this tournament so far, can he finish him off? This is the Terran Special. One of the greatest Zergs in the history of the game. In the top left from Team Liquid, this is Snute.
Still has the crowd behind him as we are looking to see again which of these players becomes a semi-finalist here in WCS 2018 already in the first event of the year here in Leipzig, as we do have the spawning pool first again from Snute. Seen this from him before, usually just a couple of links, just play around a little bit. We'll see where he goes from here, as it is just going to be that hatchery for the moment. Special just opening up with that gas racks in the early stages.
Yeah, very regular opening for both players at the moment. But I mean, generally you'll see hatch first instead of pool first, so Snute being potentially a lot safer, or also potentially he could put the aggressive pants on one leg at a time and see what he can get done across the other side of the map. But generally the early pool is just for safety. It is the deciding map, and safety is Snute's middle name.
Snute, safety, Snute.
Snute, safety, Snute. Yeah, that's his name. Yeah. Nailed it, Woody.
Thank you. I do my best. All right, well, again, super standard to begin with here on Acid Plant. One of the interesting things as well is, again, how do these players expand? And probably expect a Special to expand upwards a little bit, you know, up here, so you can push across the map more easily. We've seen Terran players doing this throughout the tournament. I mean, one of our first series today, Neeb against Hero Marine. Hero Marine did that against Neeb, to then be able to kind of leapfrog forwards with tanks and Liberators. Zergs will probably expand kind of along the top side a little bit initially, just be able to kind of keep their bases away from their opponent and so on and so on. So you do see those initial Zerglings moving around just as we saw before. One lane to the right, one lane to the left. This time the Reaper's going to go straight through the center and is going to miss both of them. So maybe we can't see a CC delay now.
Straight up the guts. This one Queen will be able to delay it. That natural ramp opening is not big enough for the Reaper to sneak by without the Queen touching on it a little bit. So these two links are going to get to this natural. There's a Marine and a couple SCVs looking like they're ready to tussle though. And they could take that fight against those two links. Actually, the SCVs are going back.
I think it's because the timing's so late because of just how far around Snute has ran. But I think this one Marine's going to be fine against just a couple of lings, and Snute just gets up the ramp for a little bit of information. The Reaper's coming back, and it is indeed a protected SCV, a finished command center. Special will morph in the orbital.
Yep, not much damage done at all. We've got speed going down there, halfway done for Snute to get his lings as quickly as they can be. And it's all pretty regular for both players. We got the third going down for Snute. Special getting his starport out. His 1-1-1 is rounding out here. Hellions for map control. Is he getting a tech lab on his barracks or not? Is kind of what I'm wondering. It is just started.
Just started there, which opens up a lot of options. Even if you don't build the Banshee or whatever, it still gives you that opportunity to maybe think, you know, make Snute think, oh, you're making a Banshee, I better make a Spore Crawl or two, which you don't really need against anything else of the Terran player nowadays, now that, well, Not for another day or two because all the turrets are coming back, but for now, you don't really need it. It's just going to be a Liberator initially, and Starport isn't even going on to the tech lab, so maybe SpeCial thinking about starting up Stimpack here, and there it is. Is it really going to be bio for this 5th game?
Wow.
So it might be.
I mean, Stim is quite the investment if you don't go into bio, Woody.
It could be a fake though, right? Like to really just psych Snute out a little bit, because SpeCial has really played an interesting series. He's mind game Snute, he's played very weird, interesting, unique builds, and that's been very important for him, as we're going to be seeing these feelings just moving around the map here. A couple of Hellions down on the south side, and Kling's going to run by for some information. If they get up that ramp, they'll probably be able to see that Stimpack over the wall, and now they will know that, yes, indeed, this is going to be... Oh, no. Just can't quite see it.
You know
We're
what?
so close.
If they saw... The funny thing is, if I remember in game 1 correctly, that Tech Lab was actually spinning fake Stim when he was going for Ghosts to try and trick Snute.
Oh, yeah, it was, right?
But, yeah, I mean, obviously, that's not the case here for SpeCial. He's going for actual bio. Extra couple barracks is going down there. And he's switching over those add-ons.
Look at Snute playing Balin Nest. That's not something you see out of Snute every day, as this is not going to be Hellbats, right? This is not an armory with this. This is just going to be straight up trying to Hellion run by right now, and he is starting to get towards them in a line. Drones are going to put away. That's a little bit troublesome right now. Snute trying to minimize the damage here. 7 workers so far. Wow.
Tons of workers going down here. The Liberator's still in the sky as well, being very annoying. Unsieging, though, for SpeCial, and pulls out. But 7 drone kills this early stage of the game. Quite nice. He did lose all of his Hellions, but that is a lot of drones.
Yeah, 7 is quite a few. Snute was actually a bit slow in his next round of drones. Otherwise, he might have been able to keep the work count even. Counter-attacking right now and still making Zerglings. May not. Snute does not want this game to go on much further. He's going to start making Banelings.
Oh, that's a lot of Banelings here from Snute. He's going to bust open SpeCial. And will it get done? The Liberators are coming home, or one of the Liberators is at least. This tank is out. This will be very critical SpeCial. He's sieged it right back at the CC as well.
He needs a couple of Zerglings to lead the charge to soak up that first tank shot, because the tank shot right now on the base would be huge, and the Banes are going to take 2 tank shots, but he still gets in. But now there's Marines that are available to fight. The tank's starting to go down, the next Marine down as well, and there's just no way that Snute can make this work. Stim is done. And Snute just cannot make this happen at all. Goes straight back into drones, double Evo chamber. His upgrades won't be far behind, but his work count not quite where he'd like it to be.
Indeed, and a third for the SpeCial got lifted there to give him vision to pick off that Overlord at the front. So it even delays the production of Snute a little bit, as he's forced to get that extra Overlord. Stop droning for now as he gets his layer up. Getting his gases, so he's starting to round out his tech a little bit. And there was a bit of a supply block there for SpeCial as well, but only a little one. And he's moving out. He's going Marine tank here against Snute, who is looking to probably head towards Lingbane Hydra, I guess.
Yeah, and you can just see that SpeCial taking that forward third base as well, so he can start leapfrogging tanks forwards and pushing maybe with 1-1, maybe he pushes with 2-2. Whenever it is, it just allows him to push up into the Zerg side of the map so much more easily that he can rally his units here and protect the third base at the same time. Snute goes into missile upgrades all of a sudden, so definitely looking as though I think a Hydraless Den coming down and playing that Lingbane Hydra, which you just haven't seen from him at all yet so far.
I feel like when you do this, though, the Zerg generally goes for melee upgrades, because you want to get those strong ultras when it gets to that point in the game. You want your Banelings to be as strong as possible as well. And Hydras really, like, they don't need that damage upgrade because they have so much damage output anyway. But Snute's a much better player than me, so I'm going to allow it. I'll allow it this one time.
Well, it is going to make those Hydras even stronger, which is kind of a scary thought right now, as we're going to be seeing these couple of Queens coming in, trying to shut down his Liberator. Snute knows about it, but he didn't actually pull his drones away just yet, maybe before the Queens were intercepting. And he's actually not attacking with a couple of Queens, so taking a little bit longer than he should do to clean this up. He's also got Medivacs to the right side to deal with. It's just funny, he's got like 5 Queens in the main, you move over to the right, he's already got 5 more Queens on top of his Medivacs.
It's just what we're talking about here. Oh, that Liberator is dead. Picked off there.
Right in the middle of those Queens.
Easy peasy.
Nice denial of creep here on this right side. It is the important position here for SpeCial to deny creep, because it's access to the third base that becomes very easy. This fourth base is going to be kept alive. Snute's defending the drops very well so far, which is something he was very good at doing for the most part. It's just when SpeCial takes the drops and moves the main army with it at the same time, that's when he really excels. And he is actually in the end going to get this base, because Snute has to pull away.
That's a nice pickup there for SpeCial, as he has his third base saturated, and Snute's back down on 3 as well. Once again, that sort of chokehold that SpeCial's been using in the games in the series that he has won, he's been stopping Snute from spreading out of control, not letting him get to that late game comfortably. And once again, the hive is on the way for Snute, but once again, he doesn't have that many hatcheries, he doesn't have that much of a bank. It's all just slowed down quite a bit. He's not in a comfortable spot.
Yeah, he's really in a little bit of a tough location here right now. It's just scary that it's going the same way as the previous games have gone, right? Because you could look at this sometimes. I think I would look at this situation at the start of the season and be like, ah, yeah, Snute can play out of a later fourth hatch. It'll be okay. But SpeCial's been so good at keeping Snute away from the fourth hatchery if this is how it starts. And that's what's maybe the most worrying thing at the moment here. Snute retakes the fourth to the left-hand side. He is starting to push forwards, by the way. I mean, +1/+1 is finished, so a little bit of a Ling Bane Hydra attack as we do see an Ultras capping behind it. The Hive is now up. Obviously, an entirely different playstyle here from Snute right now in this 5th game.
It's actually just straight up Ling and Hydra at the moment. Oh, a double medevac drop here, and this hatchery is quite low. Ling's getting in position for SpeCial. The SpeCial target fires that hatchery, forces another cancel. And once again, Snute just on 3 hatcheries.
Nice transfuse to save thing. Hydra is going to leave fly into Queens. Doesn't quite get the kills like he was getting on Blackpink, but it is a good denial. Snute really needs a base though. Like, he cannot just sit on 3 bases forever right now. SpeCial is just starting to bleed him out as he takes a 4th base, finishing already. It's the same thing as before. He's attacking Snute so much that Snute doesn't even get a chance to set a run by out onto the map.
Snute actually can only afford 1 Ultralisk right now because of the amount of money that he does not have. He's trying to get Chitinous, which is not a cheap upgrade, along with 2/2, which are not cheap as well. So this 4th hatchery is very, very desperate for Snute. He has to get it up. But once again, SpeCial is here with a ton of bio. He's just fighting the Queens straight up here. Snute's bringing all of those Queens down to fight this, and they are winning this fight. And he's double expanding now. He desperately needs this hatchery, so he's going to try and take a 4th and a 5th at the same time. Meanwhile, SpeCial pushing up the middle here with a scary amount of bio tank.
Oh, he's got a lot. He's getting into position so quickly. Snute, well, he's on creep. He needs to try and buy time for 2/2, perhaps maybe the Ultras and Chitinous. But how do you buy time with your 4th base going down, your 3rd hatchery in trouble? The Ultra pops into the Marines. Well, that kind of works a little bit. The Marines are stimming forwards as the Hydras come in from the right-hand side. Queens are killing a lot. The Marines are dying. And Snute is somehow holding on at the moment.
Yeah, he certainly is. It looks like he's going to win this engagement, Wardy. The Banelings got morphed, but they're not even part of the fight. The Hydras with their upgrades doing all the work here for Snute.
Wow, what a turnaround, and SpeCial takes a fight that really isn't great, fighting just before his 2/2 completes. As Snute comes in, he's still fighting this. His Liberators of SpeCial are going down as well. An Ultra leads the charge at the moment to get rid of another tank or 2, and he's just taking so much damage with that Ultra. It's maybe time to turn around, or no, Snute's going to keep going. Another tank falls, these Marines are dropping, and Snute's not giving up. The Sense Tower will fall, and he's flooding units across. Can he kill SpeCial? Because he really feels as though he can.
He's flooding Lings now with the Hydras, just like he did on the Empire Square. Will he break him again? The tanks are going down. SpeCial's line of defense starting to get thinned out by these 2/2 Hydras. There's lots of production here as well. Don't forget, if you can get rid of these factories, that's going to really upset the production here at SpeCial, who's trying to make several tanks at once. He does get one of the factories, but SpeCial does hold on for now, but at the cost of 13 SCVs.
Wow, I mean, this game was not going Snute's way at all. We saw that, you saw that. This was not Snute's game. This push was meant to kill Snute with the way the game had gone up until now, and Snute hangs on. I mean, it kind of reminds me of Cyril earlier playing the ZVTs against Massa, where he should just really die, and yet he finds a way to engage again and again to win the game, or to come back into the game at least, and that's exactly what Snute did here. And now he's in a playable position where, okay, he needs to try and not lose Ultras to just random sets of bio in the middle of the map. But it is definitely something he can work on, as we're going to see actually to the top right-hand side, though there's a big drop, which is denying one of the mine bases. Snute again, Snute does need a 4th base in this game over time. He tried to deny that planetary on the south side, but it got repaired, as he still just builds up into Ling Bane Hydra Ultra as well. But this time, SpeCial's going to have Liberators on the way to help with the engagements.
I really feel like, even though that move from Snute was really, really wonderful and he took a great fight, it kind of gave him a fighting chance more than gave him an advantage. I don't think he's got an advantage yet. Even after that attack, SpeCial is still on 4 bases. He still has more workers than the Zerg, and the Zerg's barely got a 4th at the moment. He's dropping it again.
Yeah, I mean, he just has to... Yeah, he just has to find a way to deal with this, but he's just not doing it. And, you know, he pushed this away once, but now where the units that are still there defending it once again, 4th hatchery dies once more, and SpeCial just will not let Snute set up into the economy he wants and what he needs in this game. Number 5. And now SpeCial is starting to push once more. This time the army upgrades, the army supply is so much scarier than it was before. The upgrades are soon going to be scarier than they were before, with +3 attack has already been halfway done, if not further along even. Snute has not had the money to even think about free upgrades until just a few seconds ago.
I mean, look at his bank. He can afford 1 Ultra
What
now.
bank?
What bank, exactly.
What bank indeed. He really just does not have anything. That economy has just been drained throughout this game.
Another drop here from SpeCial, finding more drone kills, finding just really stifling economies. There's no breathing room for Snute at all. The Spore Crawler here can get rid of one of these Liberators. The other one's heading up into the main. Bio engaging these Ultras at the front. The Ultras don't have full armor upgrades at the moment. They have 2, but they have Chitinous, and they are tanking that front line. The Queen's on the back with transfusions, coming in very, very helpful for Snute, but it doesn't look like the numbers are good enough. These tanks are doing so much damage from the back lines of SpeCial.
Oh, so, I mean, there's just nothing to support the Ultras. The Queens can transfuse for a little while, but you need Lings, you need Banes, you need Hydras to help break on through that position. That just wasn't there. And now the Ultras have gone down. Snute's defenses are weakening, and SpeCial is just streaming units across the map. A moment or two ago, SpeCial looked like he was in a bit of trouble, but he just held on at the moment where he had to turn this game into his favor once more, as now...
This is the last engagement, I think, in the game, Wardy.
I think so, too.
That's a massive fight there for SpeCial, and there is nothing left for Snute. GG! And SpeCial will be your 4th semi-finalist. And he will move on to face Serral, I believe. Wow. That is going to be a sick TvZ.
That is going to be a really sick TvZ because, you know, I'm just intrigued to see what SpeCial comes up with tomorrow because he really threw a lot of different builds at Snute in a day. We had a Ghost Rush, we had Fusion Core and Lib Range. The thing is, SpeCial will be known about now. Serral will have seen this series and he's going to be like, okay, what are you going to throw? I'm going to open Neurotize Carapace and scout every game. Because that might be what he needs.
Yeah, we'll be looking at these games tonight, but we are on the stage with our winner SpeCial, and let's cross over to Anna, where our interview.
Man, it is the end of the day, and that was a long series. How are you feeling?
I came into this game very tired because I'm still like jet lag from Korea, so I'm glad I won, but I played really badly, especially in my micro, because I'm very, very tired.
You feel like you played badly, but you did come out on top. What do you think were some of the determining factors in you being able to win?
I know how Snute plays, so I know how to abuse his weaknesses. So I was able to abuse his weaknesses, but I was not able to control my army properly.
Yeah, you and Snute have kind of a history. You're both long-standing players. You've played against each other a lot of times. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, he's a very good player, but in my opinion, I think a player to be very, very good needs to use a lot of styles. So, and Snute sometimes is like one-dimensional, so it's sometimes it can be a little bit not too hard to prepare. So.
Well, now you're moving forward, and you're going to face Serral. He said that he would prefer to play Snute, but he's confident against you as well. How do you feel playing Serral?
Well, if I come in on best condition tomorrow, I think I can win. But if I play like today, probably I lose.
Well, let's give you some time to rest then. Let's hear it one more time for SpeCial as we head back to you at the desk.
Big congratulations to SpeCial taking the series over Snute. A long one, a slugfest to close out the day. Lots of battles, lots of Liberators, lots of tanks. We got to see them help close out that final game too, gentlemen.
The Ultras, for a second I thought they're in game 5. Are they actually doing it? As Snute had a couple of good fights there where we kind of didn't really expect it anymore. But I mean, an awesome best of 5 to close out the day. Kind of a long best of 5. Maybe not the super ultra long games we expected, but still a couple of 20+ minute games, or at least the one on the backwater.
Maybe for the better too.
Yeah, it's been a long
Maybe
day.
for the better.
I enjoyed it, but I'm also like, I love Snute, but I'm kind of happy that we at least have one Terran in the top 4.
Yeah.
The spirit.
Perfect balance.
The spirit of David Kim, he's still here. I mean, 2 Protoss.
Praise his name and sing his prayers.
Yeah.
I like the guy with the cool hair, honestly. He was pretty cool. We had him out here for some of the events last year. But it's cool to see equal race representation. I thought the games were really fun too. Being able to see SpeCial bust out builds like the Hellion with the Ghost.
That was awesome.
Go for a couple of cheeky snipes on those queens. Kept it fresh, kept it fun, even if you didn't win with it.
Yeah, I mean, this is what you can expect from SpeCial nowadays. He's not a one-dimensional player at all. He will throw in a lot of different builds, especially in the best of 5 like this. And the thing is, he just used a lot of those builds now against the Zerg, and he will face Serral tomorrow, so I hope he still has a lot more in stock and he prepares properly. I mean, he did say he was late, so maybe he wasn't playing his best, so hopefully we'll see him at his best tomorrow, because he's going to need no less than that against a Serral who's on fire.
Yeah, we can keep chatting about this a little bit. We do have the bracket to pull up to show you guys everything that has gone down today. We got through a lot of StarCraft, and only 4 players remain to compete for the first WCS title of the year. You guys brought it up earlier. There will be no mirror matchups for the finals. It is going to be Serral and SpeCial facing off against the winner of Neeb and Showtime.
Only 2 Protosses in the top 4. Not bad for a game of StalkerCraft. In this,
You know,
that's
StarCraft's
true.
my favorite game, Ronnie. There's nothing like it.
I love this top 4. I mean, all memes and jokes aside, I honestly felt this was a very stacked WCS event. A lot of good European pros that don't always have the chance to show what they're worth of. You know, going to Montreal, going to Austin, that's kind of tough. We had just guys coming from all over Europe. But if you look at this top 4, you're like, yeah, I mean, obviously you can always put an Laser in there, or maybe a Snute, maybe a Nurcho, but I like this top 4. You've got Neep, you've got Showtime, who's back where he's supposed to be. Cero, I mean, arguably perhaps the best European player right now, at least in Barcelona a couple months ago he was. And then you've got SpeCial just continuing with what he was doing last year, and that is dominate as well. You gotta love tomorrow.
Yeah, I think the games are going to be awesome. The bracket is shaping up very nicely.
3 players from the top 4 of Team Liquid's power rank are in this top 4, so not bad. They only got Laser wrong for Showtime.
And I would like to mention that in the beginning of the weekend I said Showtime was ranked way too low. Put that under your belt, Todd.
I will. You were right once again, Roddy. Good job.
Power ranking was very, very close, but it's time to find out. Tomorrow we'll be deciding the champion of the first WCS Circuit event of the year. Thank you very much for tuning in today. We'll be up bright and early tomorrow to crown our champion for day 3 of WCS Leipzig. We'll see you then.
Dad, the other kids on chat say my voice is cracked.